The Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. It's been redesigned a good bit from the Endorphin 2. Fantastic shoe. It's more geared now towards tempo run days, fast days, speed work, but also a daily training type shoe, and you can even still race in it. So let's take a look at all the details and see what the Endorphin Speed 3 is all about. But first, I do need to let you know that Saucony did send the Endorphin Speed 3 to me to review. They're not going to see this video ahead of time, proof it. I'm going to share my honest thoughts, just like always. So let's get to it. But first, let's talk about some stats of the Endorphin Speed 3. So the Endorphin Speed 3 comes with a stack height of 36 millimeters in the rear, 28 in the front for an 8 millimeter drop. It's a pretty good sized stack shoe, but it's designed to give you some bounce, which it does. We'll go over that here in a minute when we talk about the midsole. But yeah, it's an 8 millimeter drop shoe. So this is a men's size 11. Threw it on my scale, men's size 11, weighed in at 8.7 ounces or 247 grams, which is a pretty good weight for a shoe like this with that stack height, the plate in there. You know, it's not bad. It's not a lightweight race day shoe, but it's also not heavy. You can definitely take this shoe to a race if you want to. Hey, real quick, scroll down, hit that like button, a little thumbs up. It does help out a lot, and I would really appreciate it. The upper of the Endorphin Speed 3 is completely redesigned this year. It's a single layer mesh, very breathable. It's also what they call a form-fit design. It's now supposed to hug your foot securely and give it a personalized fit and feel. That's what Saucony says. As far as lockdown goes in the shoe, it did feel very good on my foot. It was secure. I was able to get the laces tight. As you can see, I mean, here you can take a look at the way it's laced right now. I did have to pull the laces pretty tight, and it pulls the material pretty close together, but it wasn't an issue. It gave me a good, secure fit. So a couple things I've noticed on this shoe versus the two, just from some research I've done. The toe box is wider, and I can feel in this one, putting it on, I didn't have any issues at all, even when wearing this with toe socks. There's plenty of room for the toes to, I wouldn't say spread out, but plenty of room for them to be comfortable on long runs. I've taken this shoe for probably 15 miles, was about as long as I did in the shoe, and it was pretty darn good in the toe box, very comfortable. Like I mentioned, the upper is a single layer mesh. It's very breathable. Take a look at the tissue test. You can see when I flip it on low, the tissue goes up, it stays up, a lot of airflow. But then when I switch it on high, it's basically the same thing. You really can't see a lot of difference in the video, but it definitely blew up quicker, the tissue that is, and stayed up. It's just, it is a very breathable shoe, and I can feel it because now it's summer just about. We've got 80, 83, 85 degree temperatures. I've taken this out. My feet sweating, but still feeling a little bit of airflow through the shoe. So I appreciate that when it's a hot, humid day. Speaking of the laces, very nice flat laces. They tie well and they stay tied. They don't come untied. And there's also the little extra eye hole here if you need to do the runner's knot. I didn't have to do that. I was able to get a really good secure fit without it. And the tongue is fantastic. It's not super paper thin. It's also not thick. But it gives you plenty of comfort, plenty of protection from those laces. It works really well. So another good job from Saucony there. The tongue is also semi-gusseted on both sides. It's going to keep it from going back and forth. It just gives you that good fit. But it's not all fantastic on the upper. There is one redesign of the shoe that, for me personally, I just did not like of the shoe very much. And that's the heel cup. So the heel cup has been redesigned. You can see there's this little plastic piece on the back here, and it's pretty darn stout. It's not a lot of flex to it. These little overlays here as well also increase the rigidity on the heel cup. But what's the big thing I don't like, you can kind of see it on the shoe if you look at it. It's sloped inward quite a bit in the heel cup right here. So as your foot goes into it, this part right here, the top of the heel cup, it's not very padded, and it does aggravate the Achilles a little bit. It pushes on it, so much so that after running for more than about 45 minutes, I actually got a blister in the back of my heels, both heels. So what I had to do was actually pre-tape my feet. Even when I just lubricated the heels, I still had aggravation, and it just was not comfortable to run in. So big thing there, you got to pre-tape the feet, at least for me, depending on your foot shape. If your heel, just naturally kind of goes back there a little ways, it probably won't be an issue. But for me, definitely an issue, and one that I hope might break in a little bit more. I mean, I've already got 70-ish miles on the shoe, so I don't know how much more they're going to break in. If anything, the padding is going to even, condense a little bit more. So yeah, hopefully Saucony will fix that with the Endorphin Speed 4 whenever that comes out next year. But yeah, just so you know, it might rub your Achilles. But other than that one issue with the heel cup here on the Endorphin Speed 3, the upper does fit really well. It's very comfortable. Everywhere else, just not there. All right, so let's get to the really exciting part of the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3, and that is the midsole. The midsole is a Power Run PB midsole foam. Really nice with that stack height of 36 and 28 8mm drop. It's bouncy. It has a lot of response to it. And inside that midsole, there's also the redesigned S-shaped nylon plate, and it's got a wing design to it too. You can actually see this right here is a little bit of the wing on the outside of the shoe there. And on the medial side, you can see there's a little bit of a black sliver there. That's also the wing. It gives a little bit more stability now. Because Saucony is really trying to make this more of a comfortable shoe for daily training, because they found a lot of people were using this for daily miles, not just races or speed work days, but just going out for daily training. And with the redesigned wing, it gives you a little more stability. It's a little bit wider footprint, which we'll show here in a minute. But yeah, it's fantastic. That midsole is just really, really nice. At easy paces, if you are using it for a daily training shoe, it's just really comfortable. I've taken this thing out after a long run on the trails. For the next day, I've got like an hour and 15-minute run, just kind of like an easy recovery run. And this feels great, just going at an easy pace. But then when I want to pick up the pace, I did some tempo miles in these shoes. I did about 5 miles at least at a tempo pace, which was, you know, up in the 6s there. And it felt fantastic. The shoe just kind of came alive and felt really, really nice. I mean, I could definitely tell it didn't have as much response as like a carbon plate, but that nylon plate did give me some responsiveness, especially combined with that Power Run PB midsole. It just was really nice, and I like it a lot. Really find myself just really enjoying the shoe. And I would also say that with this midsole, Power Run PB midsole foam, that nylon plate, the speed roll technology, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, I would say these can easily go the marathon distance, half marathon for sure. I would even take this to a 50K on the road, not a problem. I think it would be just a fantastic shoe for that. So very versatile, daily trainer, tempo, speed work, races, whatever you want to do, this shoe can do it. Okay, let's talk about the outsole of the Endorphin Speed 3. As you can see, it is a little bit different from the Endorphin Speed 2. It's an XT900 rubber compound, which is pretty grippy. And you will notice that it is just a little bit thinner than the Endorphin Speed 2. If you had that shoe previously, it is not as much rubber. So I have noticed already, like I said, these have about 70 miles on them. In the back here, the rubber itself has a little wear, but the actual outsole of the shoe, or the midsole portion of the foam, has rubbed, and you can see it. It's definitely showing some wear. So hopefully, that will not be an issue, and these will last for 400-ish miles. That rubber is pretty minimal. There's not a lot of it. It's not very thick, so we'll see how this wears compared to the Endorphin Speed 2. I know there's people with those that got 400, 450 miles, 500 miles out of them. These, I would honestly be a little surprised if it got that high. So with the outsole of the Endorphin Speed 3, there's also the speed roll technology. Basically, Saucony just redid the geometry of the shoe to where as you go through that cycle, it just really propels you forward. And I would kind of say it's similar to like a HOKA early stage meta rocker, kind of similar in that respect. And then when that plate, it just speed rolls you through your gait cycle, if I can use their term. And it just feels really good. It works. Everything about this outsole combined with the midsole has just been fantastic. It really is. To run in the shoe is comfortable. It's great, except for the upper. Not too comfortable there. But out here, the outsole, midsole is just awesome. Grip has been fine. I've worn these in rain now, a little bit of light rain, wet pavement, like painted lines, no issues. It works. It does a good job. As far as the price of the Endorphin Speed 3, the suggested retail price is $160. I think that's a pretty good price for the shoe, honestly. It's very comfortable. You can do everything in the shoe. It's very versatile. Like I said before, you can do those easy days. You can do the tempo, the speed work. You can do races. It's just a versatile shoe. You can do it all. So $160, not bad. Would I like to pay less? Of course, but I would pay $160 for the shoe. And right now it looks like the release has been pushed back to sometime in August of 2022, possibly in July. But yeah, sometime in that July-August timeframe. So be on the lookout for the Endorphin Speed 3 to drop in a couple of months. But that's going to do it for the Endorphin Speed 3 review. I hope this has been helpful to you. If it has, please give the video a thumbs up, give it a like, scroll down below. It would be really helpful if you do that. Maybe click subscribe if you're new as well, and you can see more shoe reviews like this in the future. Maybe you want to look at a shoe that has a carbon plate and is designed for racing and going fast. Well, then once you take a look on your screen, you can look at the review of the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3 right over here. And then on this side, I'll put a playlist of other shoe reviews to check out too. So thank you for watching. Thank you to Saucony for sending the shoes. I do appreciate it. Thank you all, and I'll see you on the next one.